My sister has always been my mom's favorite. It's okay, I'm okay with it. In fairness to my mom, my sister is pretty amazing, and she's my favorite too. Now, when this topic comes up, my mother says what any good mother would say. She is not my favorite. I love you both the same. So inevitably, I will, or my sister will say, then tell us, Mom, about when we were born. And the story goes something like this. Oh my God, Nicole, yours was a horrible pregnancy. I threw up every single day for 10 months. And labor was just awful. I was in labor for 72 agonizing hours. When you were finally born, your father looked at you and said, "Oh, she's beautiful." And I had no idea what he was looking at. I thought you looked either like a featherless chicken or Jiminy Cricket, and I wasn't sure which was worse. You didn't sleep through the night until you were 4 years old. And when you were awake, which was all of the time, Nicole, you were never content. We had to be singing or walking or later reading, writing, learning letters, coloring, painting. You were never, ever content to just sit. But Megan was a beautiful baby. She was the easiest pregnancy, and when I started to have contractions, your father and I went out to dinner. I had a glass of wine. We got to the hospital, and 10 minutes later, Megan was born. She looked like a cherub. Megan slept through the night, her first night home from the hospital. She was such a sweet and content baby. So you see where maybe I learned that Megan is the favorite. We joke, but I know I was difficult, and it did not stop when I was 4. If I was a difficult and demanding child, I was a rotten teenager. As an adult, my mom will still tell me that I never do anything the easy way. My sister got engaged to be married with a beautiful diamond ring. We planned a wedding. She wore a beautiful dress, went on a honeymoon. I called my mom on Monday and said, "Can you come out to Rochester tomorrow? Because I'm getting married." And she came. My sister got pregnant. We had a baby shower. She interviewed pediatricians. We toured hospitals. And she delivered 2 beautiful cherub-like babies that way. I became a mom with a phone call from a Child Protective Services caseworker asking me if I was able to take a foster care placement for a newborn baby born addicted to drugs. They had called another family, I was told, who had refused this placement because the baby's APGAR scores were too low. I was 25 years old. I didn't know what an APGAR score was. I was too embarrassed to ask, and I frankly didn't care because I knew it was a baby. I called my mom. I said, "We might be getting a baby tomorrow." And she said, "Nicole, I have to go." And I said, "Mom, I need your help. I don't know what to do with a baby." And she said, "Nicole, I have to go get things for the baby." The following day, we picked up a 4-pound little guy who was too small even for the car seat we had bought on the way to pick him up. I called my mom and said, "Mom, this is the tiniest child I've ever seen." She reassured me that all babies were small and that he would be fine. 2 days later, she came to my home, armed with baby supplies and my sister's preemie Cabbage Patch doll clothes, the only clothes that almost fit him. She looked at him and said, "Oh my God, that is the smallest baby I've ever seen. Give him to me." And she didn't put him down for days. Over the last 20 years, through some 85 foster care placements, 1 grueling labor and delivery, several adoptions, every child who has entered my home has been my mother's grandchild, even if they were only with me for a few days. She has helped me learn to swaddle and rock drug-addicted babies through withdrawal. She has sang songs to broken toddlers, read with struggling teens, listened to me cry when my kids have gone home, have run away, or have moved on. My mom lives 4 hours away by car. She doesn't drive on the highway, and she still routinely makes it to soccer games, track meets, basketball games, school plays, and has never missed a graduation. As an aside, I will tell you that when I was a teen, my mother used to say to me through gritted teeth, "I hope someday you have a daughter just like you." It wasn't a compliment. I always thought I had her beat because I wasn't planning to bear children myself, so it was unlikely I'd have one just like me. And then we met my now 23-year-old daughter, Amanda. At 4 years old, Amanda's attitude rivaled my snotty 16-year-old self. Amanda raged at me for years, fought me with everything she had, challenged everything I knew about being a mom. She got me, my mom. I could almost see the satisfaction in her eyes the first time my mom heard Amanda sigh at me or watched her roll her eyes. But you see, my mom has taught me so much about parenting, and particularly about parenting children like me, difficult ones. My mom has taught me that you can love a child even if you haven't slept through the night in years, that you don't get to pick who your children are, what they become, what their interests are, but you can learn to be interested in anything, or you can fake it. You don't have to love all of your children the same, because they're not the same, and that's okay, as long as you love them with everything that you have. She's taught me that life doesn't always go as planned, but that doesn't mean life isn't amazing. And most importantly, my mom has taught me that if you try hard enough and love with every ounce of yourself, you can even love a featherless chicken baby.